Hi guys, my name is Isabella and welcome back to the channel. As you guys can tell, we're going to be discussing a new topic on my channel. If you guys are current subscribers or if you are new here, my name is Isabella Lanter and I talk about mainly scam and problematic commentary, but I also at the same time wanted to kind of venture off into other topics as well that would be kind of connected to unethical actions and problematic behaviors. And with that, we are finally going to be touching base on family channels. Previously, I discussed the Ace family, which is a huge topic in itself. But today we're going to be discussing LABRANT family. Now, the LABRANT family has been around for a long time. There are many problems within this family, and I have been wanting to talk about it for a while. So with this, I'm going to kind of break down the video in several main topics, really. So we're going to talk about their history and how they became the family that they are, so that way you guys can get a good introduction. We're also going to talk about things like the child and family channels, why that's an issue, neglect and traumatic things that can happen to these children, what I believe is happening with these children, problem with absolutely no limits in regards to the children and the content that's being shared, and then also clickbaiting fans for traumatic or very serious situations. So let's get into it. Hi guys! Alright, so I had to pop in here because we are going to be talking about today's sponsors. If you guys don't know or haven't been paying attention to my more personal accounts like my Instagram and my vlog channel, I've been really investing in health and wellness and overall taking care of myself. And as someone with tummy issues, consistency with going number 2, I have struggled with that for a long time and it's driving me crazy. So I finally decided to start trying some products and I've come across this brand the way I could rave about this. So today we're going to be talking about the company Bellway. Bellway is literally magical. So Bellway is an organic, all-natural, vegan, keto, paleo-friendly, and gluten-free fiber supplement. It contains 0 sugar and all real fruit. So Bellway is actually made of a super fiber called psyllium husk, which is meant to nourish your gut while also not making you have to just run to the bathroom. It keeps you on a more regular and easy schedule, which I have been needing for a long time, okay? And when I tell you I have been absolutely obsessed with their products, I actually was able to snag this set from them, which made my decision on purchasing full sizes so much easier. Bellway has this discovery set so that way you could actually try different flavors, so that way you don't have to just buy the full size immediately. You can just start small and work your way up. And I was able to actually find my favorite flavor out of these 3, and now I'm gonna order the full size. I'll get one of these Bellway packets, I will mix it in with some water, and immediately I'm able to drink my fiber on the go. Most fibers that I've drank, I'm gonna be honest, they were not that good, okay? And it was a pain because I'm picky with what I drink, a pain, and it did not taste very good. However, Bellways, oh babe, they taste so good. I'm not even kidding when I was blown away by actually trying it. I was literally shocked. You guys can go and snag this discovery set with my code Isabella25 for 25% off, so that way you can test out different fibers, see what you like, what's your flavor, what is your go-to to make you go, and find what works for you. This is like magic for me, and this is literally now in my everyday routine. So thank you so much to Bellway for sponsoring today's video because they're absolutely incredible. Don't forget to go in the description down below to actually purchase your discovery set. And again, as I like to always say whenever trying new products, make sure to check with your doctor before testing things out. I always prioritize safety with my viewers. So that is it. And now let's get into the other interesting information. LABRANT family has 4 children right now. I'm hearing they are allegedly planning on a 5th child. They just had a 4th one, but they have 4 different children. There is Everly, Posie, Zealand, and then Sunday LABRANT. So the oldest child, Everly, is from just Savannah and her previous partner. And then we have Cole, who actually married Savannah, and they have the other 3 children. They're known for posting a lot of lifestyle, prank content, and mainly family, specifically child-based content. If they go on your YouTube channel, they are at 13.1 million subscribers right now, and they are simply known as the LABRANT family. Let's get into the history of the LABRANT family. Cole and Savannah LABRANT. First of all, Savannah was actually a teen mom. She actually had Everly, which was her first child, with a former partner or boyfriend at the time, I believe. Now, after that, she met Cole LABRANT. So if you guys don't know, Cole LABRANT was actually someone that popped off on Vine. I remember loving Vine back in the day. Cole was known for being a part of a group called, this is so cringy to say, Dem White Boys. I know, throw up. Yeah, exactly. Posted up a lot of just goofy stuff at this point. I didn't really know much about them, but that was pretty much what they did, what the Vine era was about. out with skits and just overall comedy. So with Vine kind of dying off and disappearing, a lot of creators went to YouTube, and that's where Cole went. Cole went to YouTube and started his own YouTube channel. Then when him and Savannah actually finally met, it slowly started to actually become a family channel where all of a sudden the main videos were mainly showing off Everly. Now I already have my first thoughts on this as well. Again, this might be a personal opinion for me. Comment down below what you guys think. If I were to have a child, I feel like for the child's protection and safety, I would be more cautious to putting her on the internet or posting her with that potential partner, because again, what if that doesn't work out? What if she could be exposed to some things that aren't exactly safe? And that just sounds very irresponsible in my opinion. Now again, Savannah could have been on his channel and there's nothing wrong with that, but it started escalating to where it was mainly about Everly. Everything was about Everly, which again is very, very interesting in itself. Kind of rubs me the wrong way, especially when they weren't even married or any real close connection yet. That kind of rubbed me wrong. I personally, this is just my opinion, I feel like when they started noticing Everly's success in regards to YouTube, they started posting her more. So literally almost every video involved Everly in some way. So at a very, very young age, 3 years old, she was being shared to millions. Now that's intense. That is a lot right there. Before we dive into the rest of that, we're going to be talking about the ethics of family channels and just child-focused channels. The problem that I have with all these family channels is the unethical actions that do take place and the child labor that is essentially involved with this. So and again, a lot of these are my personal beliefs. I would love for you guys to comment down below what you think about this. But a lot of family channels, even though they appear to be very wholesome, are actually very dangerous for multiple reasons. The world that we live in has a lot of disgusting people. Pedophiles. And with that, there are many, many different communities and ways that these individuals try and consume child content, and that is social media. And it is very, very accessible. And the problem is when a child is posted up at any vulnerable position, state, you name it, these individuals have very easy access to using this content in an inappropriate way or simply watching a child in an inappropriate way. Now again, I also would like to clarify, I understand if you want to post up your child on Facebook and kind of keep with family completely, I get that, or simple photos, I understand, but we start crossing a line and a boundary where certain photos are being shared of children or every inch of their life is being shared, and it becomes too much. Now for me personally, I'm not going to be someone that wants to show my children a lot off on social media. And protected, my children will have absolutely no involvement until they are able to consent to create stuff in that way, because I am not wanting to make my child uncomfortable in any way, shape, and form, and sadly I do not see the LABRANTs following this. Now another unethical action that kind of plays into the concept of family channels is the use of the children. Now again, we are not in a position right now where we have child labor laws or anything at all that has some sort of restrictions for children that are part of the vlog channels that are overly exposed to the internet. So we have children that essentially are coached sometimes to put on acts and other things in order to play for a camera. The only problem is they're not playing a role in a movie, they're living their lives, and so it becomes way too personal at that, and it's honestly just very inappropriate because they are constantly having their lives displayed. And that's another thing that I want to talk about, is the lack of privacy that these children don't get to experience. Most of these children, in fact all of these kids, have an Instagram account. They are all children, they are all young. The oldest is in school, but like still, that shouldn't be a thing. No kid should just have an Instagram when they're infants or fresh out of your mother. Like genuinely, that should not be a thing. People will do that because, in my opinion, it is a way of gaining more money, more success, more growth, and everything, and you can essentially profit off of your child's face. So there is a lack of privacy for a lot of people, and it becomes very unethical, and that's kind of what I want to dive into with the rest of their content. So let's, again, like I said, I still want to continue on with the use of their children. One of the biggest problems that I think in regards to this is how they use their kids in every aspect and way. Family routines, showing off their children when time should be more private, even trying to essentially prank children in a way that shouldn't be pranked. I get if you're a parent and you're joking with your child, that's one thing, but displaying them in distress or very uncomfortable online for millions to see is not appropriate. I truly believe this, and again, comment below if you think so, but I truly believe we're going to have a very new and very sad generation of children that are a part of family vlogs that are going to come out and expose this or be severely traumatized because of what they have experienced, because at the end of the day, every inch of their life is on the internet. Every inch of my life is not on the internet. So why is it that the second second they're born, that's what they experience. So these kids might grow up and have most of their important memories not even for just themselves. Nothing is for just them or the family. It is for everyone else to witness. And not to mention, I'm sure it is, I know for me personally, when I get DMs or messages, which I do frequently, creepy men saying things to me or threatening to harm me or do specific things to me, it's stressful, it's uncomfortable. I can't even imagine the things that these kids are going to receive. Also, to further that, having everyone almost believe that they know you entirely, in fact, they probably do at this point with how much Savannah and Cole post about these children. And one other thing I want to dive into as well that I think is very important is the analytics of these channels and Instagram pages. And it is shocking to say the least, because we're going to talk about demographics. The demographics for analytics is pretty much who's viewing you, where are they from, what are the age groups that they're a part of, and if they are a man. What's so terrifying about this is we come across many child channels or pages that have their demographic to where they have a very significant and scary amount of men that are older watching the kids. Now again, when you think of a demographic of family channels, you think more of targeted to a younger demographic. And it's terrifying when we see older men specifically watching Everly's Instagram. That's odd. That is very, very odd to me. But then also to add to this as well, this is for the same for the other children from what I can see. And it is just shocking to me how we have very clear evidence of people who engage with the platforms, people who like or comment on some of these photos and the videos, and still Savannah and Cole enable this and allow for this to happen and for their children to be put in a position where they shouldn't be in. Now, another thing I want to talk about, Everly's YouTube page, which again, I do not like, because let's be real here, being a YouTuber is a lot of work. It just is. Sitting in front of a camera for a long time can be kind of exhausting. I know it can be. And again, there's editing and other things in the process. Now, while Everly is not editing a video that I know of, she is still in front of the camera on her own YouTube channel. Everly has a YouTube channel that is almost nearing 4 million subscribers. It's called Everly Rose, Everly Opens Toys, and it shows off toys, her dancing, and many other things. And again, a lot of these actions are just her being a kid, which is wonderful, but it doesn't even look like that she can exist as a child and play without every inch of it being filmed and being put on camera. Why can't she just exist? But they're making ridiculous money off of every single video. So not only are they profiting off of their own family channel, but they've made a YouTube channel for their own child. They're making so much money off of that, which is very, very odd to me how they're making money off of a child in this way. Not to mention too, the big question is, are they gonna do this for the rest of their children? How are they going to? How is this gonna be approached? It's just, the entire situation to me is just very unethical and alarms me at how this is going. Another thing I would like to discuss about is the alleged issues Everly's biological father. So there was conversations and some videos that were posted up by Cole and Savannah where they talked about her having premarital sex and how that was a horrible thing for her to do. But then going into this, I feel like in a way too, it started demonizing the biological father. I have allegedly heard that the biological father has wanted to engage and be a part of Everly's life and try to engage more, but there was some resistance, Savannah and Cole. And I'm very curious, and honestly, part of me believes it. And the reason why is because of the amount of content that is posted about and by Everly. Everly is literally everywhere, all the time, every day content from what I can see. And so a part of me finds it hard to believe that she isn't in a way being partially withheld from dad because, you know, she's always in everything. Part of me is wondering, is the biological father allowed to have a comfortable relationship with Everly? And is he okay with how much his child is being put and displayed all over the internet? Because Everly's dad is not somebody that is just all over social media capitalizing heavily off of his child. Great, we love that. Please stay that way. But my thing is, if he wanted to be that way and participate in the money making, he could have easily done it. Part of me wonders if he actually likes and is appreciative of what is happening with Everly. I also wanted to add a couple of additional details as well to add some clarification, because I was watching other videos with Savannah and Cole. They did actually discuss that Savannah was in a very toxic relationship, which was Everly's father, and apparently she was cheated on and there was other really bad things that happened. And I wanted to kind of put that information out there because I'm not trying to just label Everly's father as this completely perfect being that could do no wrong. But what I think I can acknowledge is the fact that Everly's biological father is not currently exploiting his child on the internet right now like Savannah is. And while that is absolutely devastating for Savannah to have experienced at such a young age as a 19-year-old mother with a brand new baby, that must have been so difficult, I still am wanting to acknowledge the fact that Everly is with this family so often and so much of her life is displayed consistently, and it's being exploited, in my opinion, to a whole different level that's very harmful for Everly at this point. And while again I don't know all of the ins and outs of their parenting, what I will say is I'm very happy that Everly's biological father is not exploiting his child on the internet, because honestly he has every opportunity to do so considering she is very well known. After dating and everything, they finally did get married and they have been together ever since, and that is when they also had their other 3 children. Now let's continue on with some other issues. The terrible pranks. So I don't mind a good prank, as I've talked about. Pranks are fine. Pranks are fun. Pranks can be very chill. We hit a point where pranks are not appropriate. There have been several pranks that, and again, trigger warning, pregnancy and loss. There have been a lot of jokes about pregnancy and faking pregnancies and everything, and I just feel like that's not appropriate. I don't think pregnancy is something to just be like, aha, JK, I'm not. I just think that's very inappropriate to do anyway. Pregnancy is not an April Fool's joke. Pregnancy is not any joke, and I just think that's very misleading and weird when every other pregnancy that they have, they put a am I pregnant or not prank, and it's just very weird. Or, oh, I try to prank my wife to make her think that she's pregnant. I think, again, that's very weird, and it's playing with people's emotions, and with such a sensitive topic as that, I feel like that they should hold themselves to a higher standard, especially. My thing is there's not like there's a lack of things that you can prank on or create content on that's more family friendly, and they're not really doing that.
You okay? Come here.
What's the matter?
What's the matter?
Cole and Sav pranked their 4-year-old Everly into thinking she'd have to give away their beloved family dog, Carl.
We're giving Carl away to somebody else because we feel like we can't take good enough care of him at our house.
Well, by the time her mom, Sav, revealed this was all just an April Fool's prank, the news made Everly so upset she refused to speak.
We're gonna let her give him away.
But then Sav finally whispers to her the whole thing is a joke. The family is widely known for their hijinks. But this time, some people say the parents took this one too far, and they seem to know it.
Too far?
We need to reflect on why would grown-ups put children in that situation, and how can such a situation disrupt important factors of child development, such as trust, attachment, predictability, consistency, security, safety.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Asmira Maker believes even though it was just an April Fool's joke,
We need to keep Carl.
We're keeping Carl.
she says it's important to understand just how fragile kids can be when it comes to these kinds of pranks.
Another problematic thing that I thought was very, very weird is there was a video that was posted up that said taking Everly on a date with Mini Cole. I will never be okay or like the concept of looking at a child and immediately trying to put them in this adult position or making them out to be in an adult position and like joking about, oh, well, you know, you're gonna have to beat all the boys. Like, stop. They're children. Leave it alone. But what's even weirder to me is the fact that they wanted to make a video that said Everly going out on a date with Mini Cole as if she's going on a date with someone that's identical to her dad. That's weird. Stepdad, either way. That's odd. That's very, very odd to me. But then another thing is using other issues for views and for engagement. For example, there was a video that was discussing cancer, and with the title and thumbnail, everyone thought that, oh my God, one of the children have cancer. This is terrifying. And essentially, they clickbaited the idea that one of their children had cancer. How is that okay? How is that normal and acceptable for you to do? Another example of this also was we surprised our biggest fan who's fighting for her life. I will never be cool with the idea of filming an experience of someone who is struggling like that. I think if anything, the fan can film something if they would like to, but the idea of filming someone who is fighting for her life, cancer patients, anything of that matter is weird. And the fact that they posted that on their channel and even clickbaited it to profit off of that is very, very uncomfortable. And again, there was absolutely nothing that was showing on the description about donating or helping out or donating to a fund to help out with the individual, nothing. So again, very unethical and odd to me, especially for someone who pulled 13 million views on that video. Another problem that I have is clickbaiting throughout Savannah's pregnancies. Many times they clickbaited problems with the pregnancies. For example, talking about she's going into labor early, there are some problems when there wasn't any to begin with and they were over exaggerating to get attention. That's not something you should even be like, ah ha ha, funny. That's not funny, that's very serious. Once Zealand was born, I believe it was Zealand that was born, Zealand had some issues and had to be in the NICU, and that is absolutely heartbreaking. I would never wish that on anyone, but they tried to, again, film every inch of it in a way that was just very distasteful. Sorry, but if your child is struggling with living, breathing, anything, why is it that the second that it literally is in its bassinet, you are filming and not leaving it alone and then clickbaiting like, that is so odd. Like, how, that doesn't give me the vibe though that you're wanting to, that you actually care about the situation. Now again, if you want to film for your own purposes, for memories, for documentation, that's great. But they were like live updating and posting these fully edited videos of their child who was struggling in the hospital. That is not normal behavior. And another example of this was recently when one of their children was actually having seizures and needed to go to the hospital. And what was posted? A photo of them in the ambulance and Savannah holding her child. I don't like that. Why are we posting that? And especially to millions of people. That is just so odd to me. And the fact that that was so important to you to share in a way that you could benefit from is just disgusting to me. And we've crossed a line. We've crossed a line where every medical problem, every struggle, every ounce of those children are exposed, and it is not okay or right at all. And I'm just very disgusted and tired of the way that this is being handled. And that's the thing, is I know that they are not the only channel that does this, but this is not okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is how Everly is being treated. Now, there's been a lot of speculation and guessing on how Everly has been essentially become a live-in babysitter, and how she is not treated like the other children because she is, and I quote, not as new and fun. Again, these are other quotes that other people have stated. That's not my personal belief. I think all of those children deserve the world and more. But there has been a lot of people, not just one, not just a couple thousand, insane amounts of people noticing the difference in regards to Everly's behavior, body language, and everything. So Everly is a competitive dancer. She is also getting older, going to school, and doing a lot of things that every normal kid does. It's exciting. And I remember when I was in school, it was fun to have friends and be out with people and socialize. It's good for kids to socialize. And now in a video clip, they were wanting to take Everly out of school. And Savannah's suggestion and push on this was to have her homeschooled. Why? Because she could be around to take care of the other children and be a second helping hand.
With all that to say, I feel like it started making me think about homeschool a little bit with Everly because, first of all, she's gone a lot. It would be so nice to just have her home more in the mornings, just to have like slower mornings, and just to spend more time with her like in the morning. I feel like would be nice rather than just like we wake up, we rush to school, we're packing lunches, hurry, eat, and then like you're off. And second of all, she's helpful with the kids, so I feel like having her here would be nice, just with another baby coming too. Like she just, it's nice having an extra pair of hands around the house, even if it's a 9-year-old, you know, and she likes it. Like she likes helping me out.
Saying it's a bad idea. I just think, you know, I throw out all like the realistic things that happen with homeschooling. I'm sure everybody,
Yeah.
I was homeschooled for a little bit, you were too. And
Yeah.
Everly's a very social kid. Everly loves,
We
go back and
her
forth.
school so much.
And she's at a very good school. That's not like,
Yeah.
it's a private Christian school, and
I feel like her
she loves
faith
it.
is like, has grown so much being at the school, you know?
Yep.
And also our church has helped a lot with that too.
Yeah. So I do think that there's like a sweet medium where I do think that Everly's gone too much, and I wish she was home more, but also like,
But she
Full
loves
home-
it.
full
She
homeschool.
loves being at dance all the
but she
time.
loves her schedule.
Yeah.
You know, obviously she doesn't like love like, you know, maybe some dance days or some school days here and there, like any kid, but she likes being busy.
Yeah.
I do think that she's a little too busy, and her schedule could and should free up a little bit, but you know, homeschool is just a big commitment, and my whole thing is just, you're just gonna have a brand new baby.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're gonna have a 3-year-old, psycho Zealand who's gonna be turned 2, and a newborn, and trying to, you know, learn homeschool could just be a lot.
I do
So
feel like
that's my own
I do
thing.
feel like her.
I'm sorry, what? How is that? Like, that's mind-boggling to me. No child should be your live-in babysitter ever. No child should be doing that. Like, I get it. I had to watch my little brothers here and there. If my mom was busy or had to do something, that's fine. I get it. But when you have a child that has to change diapers, feed the kids, and entertain them and watch them in a way that a parent should be doing, that's weird. And again, I am not going to have any excuses, especially for parents that are millionaires that can afford babysitters or a nanny, which there is absolutely nothing wrong with having. And again, they can have editors. They can have a lot of help to make them more accessible, if anything, to their children. That is, I think, a beauty of a lot of content creators who can make a very good living. They are more accessible to family if they want to become it, or they can hire more so that way they can be more accessible to their children, which I think is wonderful. From the mannerisms and from the way that they are treating the children, it almost gives the vibe of they just want to keep getting new kids. It's all for the money, in my opinion, and it honestly looks like they are simply neglecting Everly because, well, she's an extra 2 pair of hands. This is another thing I want to lead into, is the trauma side of this, because I do think Everly is going to be a big example of somebody who is going to experience different levels of trauma. I believe there are going to be different forms in regards to religious trauma, having to grow up too quickly, a lot of shame, and the lack of privacy. I feel like it's going to cause serious struggles, and it breaks my heart because that is going to be a lot for a child to unpack, and for all of those kids to unpack, any kid for that matter in his situation to unpack, and it just absolutely breaks my heart. And so with closing this out, I just wanted to kind of highlight how for a very highly Christian and religious family, you would think they would do better. But sadly, they are all about pranking in ways that show off the children in a way that they should not be, in a vulnerable position. They have no problem with capitalizing off of their children and their children's work, which is absolutely wrong. There is a lot of shame in regard to very specific topics, which is not appropriate to say the least. And in my opinion, there is not any stability and there is some neglect, I believe. The focus is on the views, the attention, and using the children for social media rather than simply having a good and put together family. So that was it for today's video. I know this was a lot to unpack, and I'm actually hoping to dive into other family channels and other problematic things to begin with. Moral of the story though, I did want to actually end this video by saying, to my first Ace Family video, I had some people saying that they were encouraging me to blur the faces of the children, and I really appreciate you telling me that, because that is something I will be doing from here on out in regards to the children, because this should not be happening to begin with. My closing statement with this is to be very cautious of this family, but also be very cautious of any others, because again, at first it looks wholesome, it looks cute, it looks great. You see somebody on TikTok and their entire platform is just their child alone, mainly utilizing their children or doing something in an unethical way, displaying them to where they are marketing off their child to grown men. I've seen that happen too. Please be very cautious of the family channels or the children-based content that you take in, but at the same time, it causes serious harm to those children. So that was it for today's video. Again, comment down below what you guys thought of everything. I know this is a lot, but yeah, this is an issue in itself. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Stay glowing, my beautiful queens. Love you. Bye.